Wherever you find yourself, Salif for combat. My good friend at the Boku Presbyterian Hospital says good morning to all of you. Mama V, good morning to you from Salif for combat. He is the boss of primary healthcare pharmacy.
I know.
The Boku.
I know. So good morning. Good morning to him and his wife. Good morning to y'all. Oh, Roland.
Sweetie.
It's the morning after the State of the Nation address.
Next year, don't bring it. That says sweetie. In the,
I shouldn't
the
bring
quiz,
it.
that quiz, don't bring it.
What don't you know?
Because I'll forget it. I beg you. I'll forget it.
Oh, good morning to our friends in Kumasi. What don't you know? That was like a week today, right? Yeah. I still get people
even yesterday
telling me, oh, I watched your What Don't You Know.
I got my friend Benjamin early morning, Benjamin to phone me, who lives in the UK, says, you and your quiz mistress. And,
yeah, that was fun. That was really good. It was fun. Yeah, we'll do it sometime. And we're going to invite you onto What Don't You Know. So if you're interested in it, as you enjoyed it, kindly let us know. But let's settle for.
Okay.
Let's look at the newspapers. The morning after the State of the Nation. So you know it will be full of the State of the Nation, different angles. And yesterday, minority boycotted. Well, they walked out in grand style. I mean, I didn't see it coming. I had talked about the dress code because I got a hint that they were going to be mourning and the majority would be in whites, in celebration, exactly, more like victory. And then after the president came, like, you know, said in Parliament yesterday, and I was just asking, did they just walk out? Did they just walk out? Did he just do it? Is this the first time this isn't happening? And I guess my disappointment was, it's not because the president had said something, you know, like you usually do it when in reaction to something that had just happened.
Or when there was an ongoing topical issue for which you already had a disagreement on.
Well, with that, then there's the register. But I didn't think that in the last couple of days it's been significant and there had been fresh disagreements or there have been dividing opinions, if you like. So I really didn't know what to make of it. But I think it shouldn't have happened. And then later on, the minority organized their press conference to explain. Not sure if it convinces me, you know, the fact that this was a constitutional mandate. It's more like you're walking out on the Constitution, if you like. And I like the president's introduction, that he was there to fulfill a constitutional mandate. Yeah, I'm not sure the majority getting up and going to sit on the other side. I'm not, no, that's part of the whole drama. Like everybody knew that was going to happen. Did they all know that was going to happen? What did you get the hints in Parliament that this was going to happen?
Well, I think the only hint, and we said it was only about the dress code.
The choice of
which we know that could happen, or they were going to have some inscriptions.
Yeah, but not the walkout.
Not the walkout.
Right after the president came in.
Yeah, so I don't know whether it was something he had planned.
Definitely planned. Definitely planned. All right, let's see how the newspapers reported it. The Daily Graphic newspaper, front page of the Graphic, Ghana in good health, competent hands. Those are words of the president as he was hosted in Parliament yesterday to deliver the State of the Nation. But the picture captured on the front page is that of the Speaker of Parliament conducting the president round. A photo exhibition mounted at Parliament House, looking on the majority leader. This must have been, Roland, was this after the speech? Was this after the speech? Because you know when he first went into Parliament, we had the entire leadership that included the minority welcoming him to Parliament. And then I didn't see this particular one, but this must have been after the speech then. Yeah. All right. Minority walks out of SONA, says protests against dictatorship. Microfinance, savings and loans depositors receive locked up funds Monday. This assurance being given again. Remember, Vice President had talked about it when he was showcasing the achievement of the NPP not too long ago.
Yes.
Also, Bawumia will be my running mate for 2020. Akufo-Addo discloses as he files nomination. He filed his nomination right after delivering the State of the Nation address. No surprises there. He's going to run again. And Dr. Bawumia will be his running mate. The center spread full of pictures of the state of the nation. So, you know, you can catch the still pictures in the paper this morning. We had former President Kufuor and Mr. Rawlings, Mrs. Kunedu in Parliament yesterday. Back page of the paper, government will deal with Galamsey decisively. That's President Kufuor on this Galamsey fight. The government remains resolute in dealing with the menace of illegal mining despite the challenges. Presenting the State of the Nation address in Parliament, he said some successes had been chalked up since the government took up the fights. The threats Galamsey poses to the future of our country is grave, and we cannot shirk our responsibilities but deal with it. I am appealing to the media coalition not to be daunted by the difficulties in the fight against Galamsey. Well, this is one of the things that we will be looking at closely when we settle down to deal with the big matters, particularly all the issues that came out of that State of the Nation address. Also, UNICEF urges political herds to commit to open defecation-free targets. On to the Finder, front page of the Finder, defunct microfinance and savings and loans companies, depositors to cash 5 billion Ghana cedis. Payments start Monday. President Kufuor assures 2020 victory margin will surpass 2016. That's the precedent on coronavirus. Ghanaians living in Hubei province in good hands. Assurances from the Foreign Affairs Ministry. Also missing excavator saga. No one involved will be shielded. The president again saying in Parliament yesterday. The Ghanaian Times and then the Ghanaian Observer and the Daily Statesman. So the Ghanaian Times now on the State of the Nation address. Nation in good health. President declares minority stages walkouts against impunity, unconstitutionalism. Persons found culpable in missing excavator saga to be prosecuted, according to President Kufuor. Also, President announces 5 billion Ghana cedis for payment to depositors of defunct microfinance COIs. Outbreak of COVID-19. It's safer for foreigners to stay in China, according to the Chinese government. So that's all in the Ghanaian Times newspaper, not the Finder as we're exhibiting on television. That's not the paper I'm reviewing. In the center spread details of those on the front page, and on the back page, sports stories. Ken Faisal hold Legon cities. Bechem overcome Liberty. Kisi Boateng's free kick stands Oli. In the Ghanaian Observer newspaper, front page, Kufuor Dance critic says Ghana is in good health and in competent hands. Ghanaians descend on NDC over Sona boycott. VW to start work in April. Toyota in fourth quarter of 2020. DKM others to receive payments from Monday, all from the State of the Nation. Wejabawe MPP primary shapes up as businessman files nomination to contest incumbent. And the last newspaper for me is the Daily Statesman. On Sona's 2020 NDC walkout shows it has no fitting alternative to offer Ghana. We're determined to do more. President assures Ghana is in competent hands. And Kufuor files for NPP presidential nomination. That will be all for me in terms of the headlines and the newspapers that I have, Roland.
All right. Let's go to the Daily Guide. It has on the front page, I'm running with Baumia Nana. And then that's the main story, the front page banner headline. We also do have a spat of the speech, State of the Nation address by the president. Go and register to vote. I was coiled from there. Take all seats. President urges MPP as NDC walks out. New arrest in coup plot case. Evacuation plan for Ghanaians in China. Let's go to the back page. Pep warns Basa chief over Citibank remarks. Kotoko chief runs from Juju. Player bites opponent's penis, gets 5-year ban. And this is not in Ghana. And PSG balls in World Cup bribery scandal. Nasser Al Khalifa. And Nasser, it's in connection with the Media Rights Award to various World Cup and Confederation Cup tournaments, and the Swiss Attorney General's office has determined. And he also owns Bain Media Group, Bain Sports. You get to find them on YouTube and their live views. They tend to cover the English Premiership and all that. Now let's go to the Daily Dispatch newspaper. Has on the front page, Akufo-Addo files for second term and declares Mahama will take Ghana backwards. German ambassador tweets on minority walkout yesterday. And the story is on page 2. German ambassador. And then this is the tweets. NDC opposition leaving parliament before President State of Nation speech. What's your opinion on that? Yeah. Other stories occupying the front page. Eslo, who dares minority to debate President State of the Nation address. You were not there. So how would you debate it? I don't know. Maybe they won't debate it. Maybe that's another plan. Mama V and I don't know. So shall I go through to your sources within the minority and let's see whether they will debate the State of the Nation address when the time
they
comes.
will. I mean, some of them were, just as Joseph showed us. Yes,
they were watching on TV.
Yeah, they were watching.
They love to join news coverage better than the Real View.
They walked out.
That's good.
They walked out. They didn't say they were not going to listen or watch. Yeah.
Okay, I get your point.
Yeah. So it's not the content. It was just.
It's not the content they didn't want to hear. It was just the act that they wanted to undertake.
Yeah. They wanted to make the headlines, and I think if that was the objective,
then they have achieved.
Then they got all of us because we paid attention and we were interested in the press conference because a lot of us didn't understand why the walkouts.
I know, right?
So they got all of us.
Yeah.
I mean, we hardly paid attention to the president picking his nomination. So if that was what the strategy was, to get all of us focused on them yesterday, then we did.
We had to
minority, we're still talking about you.
Keep waiting for them to convene the press conference address. Right.
Yeah. But the people that I spoke to were greatly disappointed.
No, I think the disappointment is you can do a casual observation of what the views are on social media. And that's an aggregation of those who on social media tend to occupy the space for public opinion. And you can make your own conclusions.
It was so
we have to be realistic,
especially because it was a national exercise. And this is Parliament hosting the president. You know, it's not like the president hosting you.
And you know, it's happened before because 2013, the State of the Nation address was boycotted by the minority at the time. And it was John Mahama who was just elected president.
As in, he came in and then they walked out on him?
Yeah, they didn't participate. But you know,
they walked out.
There was a concern about the election.
Yeah, but was it this dramatic? As in he came in, national anthem was being played.
It depends
towards
on,
the end
depends
of
on what we mean by drama. You know, but I think also it falls in line with what you say the objective and what the objective was at the time. So if the objective was achieved,
I'm not quite sure how that went down. I'll try and do a recall.
Yeah, so it says, and that was
January, are you done?
January 7th. Swearing in. Okay, they boycotted his swearing in instead. Yeah. Okay. Let's go to MPA targets illicit fuel trade. And then we have the informer. The informer says, majority backs minority over walkout in parliament during SONA. That's the informer newspaper. NDC condemns demolition at trade fair, described it as politically motivated. It has an attached picture of the NDC scribe or general secretary, Johnson Esiedunketia, General Mosquito, as his alliance is. MPP primaries turn bloody as supporters clash over candidates. Now, you have attached pictures of Francis Adai Nimo and then the incumbent, Kweku Sapong Amprechum.
That one is shameful. That one is
Walk
shameful.
out shameful. This one is shameful. Yeah.
It's shameful.
Non-payment of transfer grant, medical and rent allowance. Immigration boss blames government over non-release of statutory funds, and officers expose controllers' lies. The story says, look at the last paper. The Go Street business. Ghana now has access to international credit insurance. That's a Go Street business. And producer inflation further increases in January 2020. 13.13. Down there we have 2 new gold mines for the Upper East and West regions. It should reflect in the communities. I mean, we can't just be taking the resources out and going by the examples of Obuasi and Takwa, etc. The resources they take out, we have to make sure that we develop the communities. They should benefit. How they can benefit. All right, Mamavi. Some stories intrigued you.
Oh, I think we're, that's the state of the nation. We will leave the details when we settle down for and talk. So unless we're going on myjoyonline.com.
Which we are.
All right. Let's hit it. Okay, Accra in darkness hours after Akufo-Addo declared Dumso had been solved. I really? Did you experience that? My lights went off in your area. Okay.
What, for how long?
All right. So we had our cameraman in the studio confirming.
6 to the next morning.
Okay, I had blackouts this morning, but
3 a.m. There's some also who experienced just for an hour.
Okay, so Dumso is actually not gone. Dumso
is
day.
That Dumso?
Masa. It is there. It just wanted to remind him that it is not gone. All right, let's continue. Claims of some Ghanaians in China without food untrue. That's the Chinese ambassador. You know, on news desk for the past couple of days, I've been speaking to some of the students in Wuhan. The last conversation was, I think, was like 2 days ago. This was the Vice Duke's president, and he confirmed that they had not received food, but that wasn't, from his point of view, that was not their issue. They just wanted to come back home. But previously, I've spoken to another person who said they couldn't even get safe drinking water. They didn't have enough water, because they are totally locked down in their facility. So nobody's going out, nobody's coming in.
So Ellis Couture, the one who sourced for me, says that one of her clients, who currently is studying in China, also says that they're just having food shortages, which are, who's a Ghanaian, of course. So they're having food shortages, and then some of them have they're having physiological problems, because they have to sleep.
Because virtually nothing to do. And I think it's also very scary emotionally as well, because there are many people dying. That's the center of the whole.
And he is in Wuhan studying.
Wuhan is the, So, we can get all the assurances from all these officials, but once we have direct contact with the people there and they're telling us their stories.
It's not that they don't have food, but they feel they don't have. But the thing is, because you have a situation like this, sometimes you feel exasperated, like you're stressed, and a lot of things can come to mind.
So I mean, this is like us in the pen and paper story. Once I get to speak to the students, I will take what they tell me. All right, but you can draw your own conclusions. NHIA owes us 87 million Ghana cedis. That's the Christian Health Association of Ghana. Work on your reputation. Akufo-Addo charges Ghana police. Work on your reputation, oh, Tom. Oh, Ghana police are brave. Court-free suspect in treason trial. The Kaneshie District Court on Thursday discharged Mr. Gershon Akpa, a weapons mechanic who is one of the 10 persons accused of treason on the advice of the AG. Details there on myjoyonline.com. UG Noguchi Institute form joint emergency response team on coronavirus, COVID-19. My government will not weaken its stance on Galamsey fight. That's President Akufo-Addo as he delivered his speech. People want to see a lot more action, especially with people who have come up in terms of this whole Galamsey thing. Those with allegations, people want to see him make a public pronouncement on these specific people as well. Because for now, like it's not encouraging at all. It's not encouraging. If the same people we put there to do the fight are the same people enjoying the things that they claim to be seizing, then that's not good. Definitely not good. Kweku Sechado writes, Komla, me, and network. You've got to click on myjoyline.com and read this. So you know there was a book launch, things that Komla wrote in his diary, put together by his dad. And if you loved him, what all of us did, then you might want to know the sort of things that he was writing about, work, his person, his inspiration. Kindly look for the book. All right, plenty more stories on myjoyline.com. Please make time and explore. That's it. We'll bring you sport right after this.
Oh, I wanted to have a birthday.
No
Happy
birthday.
birthday.
Stay with us.
25th anniversary.